Hey guys, this is going to be my response video to Loretta Bear's encouragement tag for couples that deal with infertility. My husband and I do struggle with infertility, and I've been meaning to make a video because this is actually the last day of a National Infertility Awareness Week, and I've been meaning to make a video and just now getting around to doing that, but yeah, I want to tell you a little bit about our story. In 2009, I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS, and it was quite a shock. I mean, I knew that there was something wrong with me because of the symptoms that I was experiencing, but I had no idea that those all tied into something that related to infertility. And so I had just found out as we were about to start trying to have a baby, and so that was pretty devastating news to find out that that's what it was. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is an endocrine disorder that there's so many different symptoms, and it affects everyone in different ways. Some of the common symptoms that I personally struggle with are irregular cycles or anovulatory cycles, meaning you don't ovulate every month. I have issues with my skin. I struggle a little bit with my weight and hirsutism, which is excess hair, which kind of throws me into like mood swings sometimes. So it's just really a really difficult thing to deal with, even aside from the fertility aspects of it. A lot of times PCOS is referred to as the thief of femininity because of the elevated testosterone levels in my body. It affects me in a really big way. So anyway, it did take us basically over a year after some medicated cycles to conceive our daughter. And that was a really, really hard year and long year because I'm the only one in my family that's ever been diagnosed with something like this or has dealt with something like this. I'm the oldest of 5 kids in my immediate family, and so it wasn't anything that my mom could relate to or my grandmother relate to. And well-meaning, friends and family who've never been there themselves often say things like, oh, well, in God's timing, or, if you just relax, you'll get pregnant. Things like that, they have good intentions, but they really don't help when you are, really tired of seeing, a negative pregnancy test every month, and you're really hoping for a baby. So, anyway, the things that I found the most encouraging for my particular circumstance was reaching out and learning as much as I could about polycystic ovarian syndrome to be educated on what my options and choices were. There's several websites that have forums, and it just really helped me to read what other women were going through, to not feel so isolated and so alone. So I will try and link some of those websites below. Actually, the YouTube, trying to conceive videos community, those were encouraging to me as well, because there's several women with PCOS who make videos, and that just, again, helped me to not feel so alone with what I was going through, because prior to my diagnosis, I had never heard of polycystic ovarian syndrome, and didn't know anyone in my personal life who had suffered with that. So other things that I did, about when we reached the year mark of trying to conceive, my husband and I found a local infertility support group, and my husband wasn't really wanting to go to that, but it was a good thing for me, and so he did go with me to that a couple of times, and then shortly thereafter we got pregnant. But so looking for support groups in your area. What are some other things? I did some study on the matriarchs, Sarah, Rebecca, and Rachel, and looked up some of the commentaries that Judaism has on infertility suffered by the matriarchs and reasons why, and I found that to be a source of encouragement. I just spent a lot of time in prayer and listening to like praise and worship music. And one thing that I did want to share, and I will try and type this and put it in my description box below, but this is a Siddur, or Siddur. It's a prayer book that we use in Judaism. This is a woman's Siddur, and there's actually a prayer to be blessed with a child, and I prayed this a lot, and we prayed it every Friday night before Shabbat dinner when we were trying, and kind of interesting looking back. I just created a new blog, which is shalominthehome@wordpress.com, and I had a different blog back when we were trying to conceive, and the week that I posted this in my blog, I posted it like back in November of 2010, and I was actually pregnant and didn't know it when I posted this on my blog, but this was a really big source of encouragement for me. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. A prayer to be blessed with a child. Our Father, O merciful Father, hearken to our prayers and give heed to our cries, that all childless women will be remembered for the good, swiftly, easily, and with speed, to give birth with your compassion to living and thriving children. May your people Israel multiply like the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured or counted. Just as your compassion was mighty over our first forefather, Abraham was but one, along with his wife Sarah, whom you remembered for the good. You remembered them in their old age and gave them Isaac, and you promised to multiply his offspring like the stars in the heavens. So too may your insides moan and your compassion be aroused for all the childless women of Israel, all the childless women of your people, the house of Israel, whose eyes are set on you alone, that you grant them viable offspring for your service and your reverence. Have compassion upon them for your sake, and remember them for good, and fulfill their requests with compassion. Allow yourself to be entreated by them. Hear their prayer, and swiftly, easily, and speedily grant them to become pregnant. May they have the privilege of delivering viable offspring whose fathers and mothers delight in them, and may they merit to raise them for Torah, the bridal canopy, and for good deeds, for length of days and good years. And that prayer was just a really sweet and precious source of encouragement for me, and I found myself praying that a lot back when we were trying to conceive. Right now, Ori's 9 months old, and ideally I would love to have kids like no more than 3 years apart, like 2 to 2.5 years apart. So we'll see what happens with that. My biggest struggle right now that I'm facing with PCOS is I'm dealing with a lot of the symptoms of the syndrome, and there's nothing I can really do because I'm nursing. So I can't take a lot of too many supplements that might affect her adversely. I can't take any of the prescription medicines that are used to treat polycystic ovarian syndrome. So right now I'm kind of we're not trying to conceive at the moment, but I'm still struggling with the effects of PCOS. So we'll see, what happens. She's approaching her first birthday, and I guess our timeline for baby number 2. But yeah, that'll be a different video. But anyway, those are some of the things that encouraged me. I will put that prayer in the description box and some links to websites that have forms for women suffering with polycystic ovarian syndrome, and maybe links to some of my favorite YouTubers who struggled with infertility. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and hope you have a blessed day.